Welcome back to the New Music Alliance Radio Hour. I'm Mark Ramone. I'm joined today by Violet Hausthor and Paul Wallen. You just heard The Supposed So, The World is a Living Organism. Before that, Dylan Patrick Ward with The Kid Who Lived Inside His Head. And we started off with Adam Reid and the In-Betweens. Someday Soon We'll All Be Gone. Wow, that sounds doomy and dark and gloomy.
A little bit, yeah, which is always fun.
But I love it.
Yeah, Adam Reid and the In-Betweens are out of East Hampton, Massachusetts, and Adam Reid as well as Hannah Mills are both also in the band Nanny, which I love and have played many times before. This is one of the singles off their upcoming album, The Numbers Keep Repeating, comes out February 2nd. I'm very interested in this. And I just really like the style of this track. That violin work just adds, it's very subtle, but once you notice it, it's like, oh, this adds so much to the texture of the track, you know?
Yeah, I thought it was thought-provoking too. I like the, I thought to me it seemed to be about climate change, but it could be interpreted in a lot of different ways, which is cool.
It has a familiar vibe to it. Like I've enjoyed it before, but I've never heard it.
Yeah, it's a really cool sound. I really like the songwriting on this, not even just in the melodies, but in like the song structure and chord changes. It's just really smart songwriting that is so catchy, but so clever about how it handles it. Then, of course, Dylan Patrick Ward out of Bellows Falls, Massachusetts, Bellows Falls, Vermont, sort of southern Vermont area.
Right.
The Kid Who Lived Inside His Head.
Yeah, and this is off the album Lovable Losers, which I believe came out last year.
Yes, and it's also an album that leans a bit more into the folky and country-esque style. He's done a lot of stuff in quite a few different styles, but this is a really interesting track that I like a lot.
Yeah. I think it's wonderful to listen to these self-reflective folk songs. I feel like I learned something about the artist.
Yeah, I really liked how he really captured the emotions and awkwardness of feeling like life was a struggle, but there's something in his delivery that just felt a little hopeful and uplifting at the same time, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been compared to artists like Mountain Goats and John Prine and folks like that, so definitely fitting into that very introspective folk style. And he's got plenty of live shows around Vermont, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire all coming up over the next month. Very prolific live performer.
Yeah. And then before that, we had The Supposed So.
With The World is a Living Organism out of Worcester, Massachusetts. The Supposed So is a solo project of Michael McGuire. Very cool project, honestly. He's inspired by a wide range of artists, not just singer-songwriter stuff, but British Invasion, power pop, folk music of the 60s and 70s. I love the lyrics on this track, especially. It's just so evocative, and that makes a lot of sense. He's got a degree in English, and he's written multiple books and collections of poetry.
This was so good. Oh, well-produced, just very great song. I loved it.
Yeah,
he just has that singer-songwriter magic that just makes you nod your head and sing along.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is off of the album of the same name, The World is a Living Organism, which just came out last month.
Yeah. So, what do we have next?
Well, next we're going to be delving more into, I guess, a more rock-adjacent block, but still a little bit unconventional. I think you'll hear what I mean when we get into it.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be starting things off with Heavy Meadow doing A Better House.